Welcome back to Analytical Media. We are a consortium of therapists, college professors, and well-published, peer-reviewed authors. Today's question: I have 3 children. I treat them all exactly the same. 2 are excellent in all ways, and a third has a number of problems. Is this my fault? This is a common question. If you had 3 pans of bread dough, and you treated them all the same way, you kneaded them the same amount of time, you kept them in the same temperature, you let them rest the same amount of time, in all ways you treated those 3 pans of dough exactly the same, then you would expect the outcome to be exactly the same. They would be just as tender, just as high after proofing, because you treated the same thing, 3 instances of the same thing, you treated all the same. So you would expect, if you baked them in the oven at the right temperature, the same temperature, they would come out the same. Bake all 3 for the same amount of time, they would come out the same. Slice them at the right moment, they would taste the same, look the same, the breadcrumb would be there. So you would think if you had 3 children, you should treat them the same. After all, they're the same thing, children. Let's even go so far as to say they're all 3 girls. And they're exactly the same, except all 3 have different names. Other than that, they're the same. So you treat them the same. 2 are straight A students. They're involved in many school activities. The third one is a drug addict and has a court date in 93 days. Couldn't be your fault, because you had 3 pans of bread dough and treated them all the same. 2 came out great and 1 came out not so good. So that sort of makes sense, except we're not talking bread dough here. We're talking 3 human beings, and those human beings are not the same. Even if they were identical, they would not be the same. The identical twins come from 1 egg, 1 fertilized egg that splits into 2, and then they separate, and each splits into 4, and each splits into 8. DNA is identical. They couldn't be more identical. They came from the same egg. Yet they're different. When they grow up, they're different. It's the parents who try to make them to be the same, dress them the same, give them the same gifts at Christmas, treat them the same way, exactly the same way. And yet, those 2 children, the 2 identical twins, are not at all identical in personality or needs. They're different. So, to answer that question, is this my fault? I have 3 children. I treat them all exactly the same. 2 are excellent, and a third has a number of problems. Is this my fault? The answer is yes. It's your fault because you failed to recognize that you had 3 different children, and all 3 had different needs. Like a bedtime of 8 o'clock might have been fine for 2 of the 3, but a 7:30 bedtime might have been right for the third one. Or the first one might have needed 7:30, and the second 8, and the third 9. One might have needed a inspirational talk, and the other might have needed discipline. One might have needed a strong talking to. And that might have been exactly the wrong thing to give to the second child. Second child might need more compassion and understanding and no criticism from the parent. You do not know 2 human beings who are the same. And that applies to your children. They're different. All 3, 2, 4, 1 is different from any other child. Certainly, siblings are different from one another. And I want you to think about that. You have siblings, perhaps. Do you have a hard time recognizing yourself as being different from them? Would it be fair for someone to judge you based on what they know of your brother? Maybe they know your brother very well. Does that mean they know you at all? Would it be fair to say that your siblings are different from each other? Some understanding, some cruel, some deep thinkers, some shallow and superficial, some Republican, some Democrat, some with a good sense of humor, some couldn't say a funny thing if their life depended on it. Your siblings are different. You're different from your brother, you're different from your sister. Say you have an older sister, she's a year older than you, and in high school she takes certain classes. When she graduates, she goes to a certain school, majors in a certain thing. Does that mean that's the course you should follow? Does that mean because she became an artist, you give up your dreams for medical school? No, of course not. And I really want you to think about that. How different are you from your siblings, from your brother, your sister? How different? And you're completely different. Say you're a woman and your sister marries a guy. Will you find him attractive? Perhaps not. Seriously, you may think, I would never marry that guy no matter what. You may say, I have no idea why she finds him to be attractive. And the same thing's true for men. Your brother, he marries a woman. And do you think, yes, that's the woman I should look for? Maybe she has a sister. Or do you think, boy, I don't know what he sees in her. I wouldn't marry her if she was the last woman on earth. You might even feel pity for your sibling for making the choice they made in both cases. Try to relate to that. The difference between you and your siblings, and for that matter, the difference between you and your parents. You're not your father, you're not your mother, you're not half and half. You're a completely unique human being. Unique from your sister, unique from your brother. And remember, when you see those differences between you and a sibling, remember that the sibling has more in common with you from a genetic standpoint than any other human being. You're more similar to your sibling, your brother or your sister, than you are to your mother or your father. Because you have half your mother's DNA and half your father's. Your sister has half your mother's DNA and half your father's. But your mother has none of your father's DNA, and your father has none of your mother's DNA. Recognizing how different you are from someone who is genetically the closest to you that is possible, recognizing that, how different you are from those people. Then recognize in children, they're different. They are amazingly different. And chances are, if you treat child A exactly the same way you treat child B, something will be wrong, because these are not two pans of bread dough. They are two unique individuals. So it's a condemnation when I hear a parent say, I have 3 children, I treated them all the same. Believe me, I treated them exactly the same, as if that's a badge of honor. One child may have needed more discipline, one child less. One child may have benefited from more discipline, and one child would have suffered. Each child is unique, and they should be treated that way. It should be recognized for that. You don't say, look, I made all my kids go to bed at 7:30 at night. Well, that might have been perfect for one of them. Might have been bad for all of them. But it's unlikely all 3 would have benefited from the same bedtime. For one child, perhaps when they came home from school, it was important that they studied did their homework before they went out to play. And for another child, it might be important when they come home from school that they go out and play before they do their homework. Recognizing the unique difference, it is a condemning sin for you to expect that three unique different things should be treated in the same way. Give child A what child A needs. Same thing's true for child B and child C. Give each child what they need to the degree that you can and to the amount that would be correct for each child. It's not hard. If you had one child, you wouldn't find it to be any problem to treat it uniquely. And when you have a second, you won't find that to be a problem either. Just don't try to replicate with child 2 the things you did with child 1. The bedtime, the furniture color, play dates, etc. Each child is unique. I hope you have gained a little insight into child rearing. And if so, we've succeeded. If not, we'll try again in the next video. See you when we post.